Hello and welcome to this amazing event that we're having on Essential Emotions Coaching Workshop today. I'm really excited about bringing people back into the classroom, my favorite coaches. And so we have Sharon Otness here with us today. Hey, Sharon. That's so great. So Sharon and I have been longtime colleagues and friends. That's how we got to know each other as friends, and we found out we were colleagues, and it was so cool. It's been a long journey, about 10 years, and it's maybe even, I think it's 11 or 12 maybe. And it's been really, really fun. One fun thing to share, oh, I just realized we're recording, but that's okay. One fun thing to share is Sharon and I have the same birth month and day. Isn't that cool? Sometimes we celebrate it together. So it's awesome. All right, I'm going to turn you over to Sharon. We also have Anne here, who is also our hot seat girl. And as Sharon starts, I'm going to close my office door because my dog's back. So, all righty.
Hi, Sugar.
There he is. Okay. I guess it's all okay. All right. So take it away, Sharon.
All right. Thank you, Mia, for bringing us together in such I think, a beautiful way to explore emotions. And for such a time as this, when things are bombarding us, it seems, on a minute by minute basis now, not just a day by day or week by week. I think it's especially important for us to understand our emotions and learn how to simply ease up or just release some unwanted emotions. So that's what we're doing today. Give you a little background. My name is Sharon Otness. I have been a holistic health coach for many years now. And I started back in LA. When I moved there, I knew I was going to make a change from my interior design background. And I went back to school. And a little while after that is when I met Mia. So not long after I became a health coach, and I did that because of some, background on myself, that I wanted better for myself in my life. I wanted to feel better, in my life. So I wanted to share that with others. But I was introduced to essential oils, and I'd heard of essential oils. I'm sure many of you have, whether you've used them or not, no matter what you think of them. But they quickly became a real stable part of my life for many reasons. And I think that's also one of the reasons I love them, is because of their versatility. And not long after that, this is a progression here, I started, getting some information that was coming to me about oils and emotions. And I thought, well, that's interesting. I'd like to know more about that. So I started buying these books, which is Essential Emotions. Oops, I've got my background blurred, so I didn't realize, of course, that's blurring everything. So Essential Emotions, this is the latest version. But I started buying that book, and every few years they would update it. And so I would get a new copy of it. And a few years ago, a new publisher came about and bought the publishing rights to this book, and then made it even better. And that publisher, along with a few therapists that are using oils for very successfully in their practices to help release emotions so much quicker than they normally would be able to, they got together and created a program for us to become certified, whether we were therapists or not, in this beautiful process I'm going to be taking Anne through. So that's kind of the premise of why we're here today together.
Sharon, yes. As we go through this, everybody else, can you explain how they can benefit? Because I asked them to bring their oils and their notebooks and their pens so that they can work through theirs too.
And I will be definitely sharing that. But first, let's just talk about emotions, okay? Like, what are they? Well, they're like that colorful palette of your mind. They're complex, often intense. They can influence your thoughts, behaviors, and overall experience of life. So where do they come from? Well, think of emotions as the brain's way of reacting to different situations. It's like your brain's way of saying, hey, this is important, pay attention. And you're likely feeling it in your body, even if you're not really intentionally thinking that way. Chances are your emotions, especially if they're intense, are showing up in your body. So the origins of emotions are rooted in both biology and experience. Biologically, they're linked to the brain and the nervous system. So different areas of the brain, the amygdala and the hippocampus, play a role in processing emotions. And then neurotransmitters kick in, which are your chemical messengers, and they come into play as well. So on the experiential side, your life experiences, upbringing, cultural influences shape how you perceive and express emotions. So in a nutshell, emotions are a mix of biology and life experiences. They create a rich tapestry, and that's how each of us are unique. So another thing that I think a lot of people use interchangeably, and I've certainly been guilty of this as well, is using emotions, feelings, and thoughts all at the same time, right? As one word. But what's the difference? Well, they're kind of like the three amigos, right? But they each play a distinct role. So emotions are the raw. Oh boy, we have thunder back here. We're not going to lose power. Emotions are the raw, instinctual reactions to stimuli. They're the automatic responses your body has to certain situations. So think of them as that initial, like unfiltered bursts of joy, anger, fear, sadness, the ones that just come at you quickly. Feelings, on the other hand, are the conscious experience and interpretation of these emotions. They're like the labels you give to raw emotions. So feelings involve a cognitive component where you're aware of and can articulate your emotional state. And thoughts are the mental processes and interpretations that follow. So they're the stories and explanations your mind creates, true or not, about why you're feeling a certain way. So thoughts can influence and be influenced by your emotions. So in a nutshell, emotions are the instinct, reactions, feelings are the conscious experience, and labeling of those reactions and thoughts are the mental processes. Emotions also have vibrations. So they have an energetic quality about them, and you can feel it, right? So when you're happy, it's vibrant, it's good, right? You're excited. When you're feeling sad or depressed, vibration flow. I think you can all feel that. So it doesn't feel good to stay down here, but we can't always stay all the way up here either, right? I thought this was kind of an interesting little tidbit. On the scale of lower and higher vibrations, courage is actually kind of in the middle. So it makes sense to try and work on courage to help you on your way to higher level vibrations like happiness and joy. I just kind of came on that yesterday, and I thought that was fun to think about. Okay, and then why essential oils? Well, essential oils, of course, are made from plants, and each plant also has a vibration. So they become the secret ingredient that exponentially enhance emotional healing. And science is truly proving the efficacy of essential oils for body and mind. So this is not just about woo-woo. Lots of people think of essential oils as a woo-woo thing. There is definitely science and research that is backing all of this up now, and it keeps growing. So essential oils also, it comes to play with our olfactory system. It's responsible for your sense of smell, but it's also linked to the brain's emotional center. So again, this is about your brain. It's about science. I'm not going to go into more of that right now because I want to get to Anne and our experience that all of us want to kind of tap into today. So think of our emotions are our teachers, essential oils are our guides, and that's what you're doing today. Okay.
Can I share with everyone why I really loved this? So Sharon gave me, I came to Sharon as a friend, we talked, and then she's like, hey, I do this. And so I signed up and I had a session. Well, I've had a couple, but I signed up and had a session, and it was so powerful because a lot of you remember I teach imprinting your emotions, your feelings, which is what she's doing with essential oil. So remember, you guys have been aware somewhat throughout your whole life of what this would be like. When you smelled orange blossoms on a tree when you were a kid and you were also maybe swimming in a pool, what did that imprint? Happy impression, right? I remember mine, my brother brought me orange blossom perfume from France. So that was the love from my brother. So I'll let Sharon take it away, but I just wanted to remind you to just add that little caveat that we've been experiencing this our whole life. Now we get to heal with it. So it's really lovely. Thank you, Sharon.
Sure, for sure. Thanks, Mia, for interjecting that too. I'm so sorry. The one thing my dog cannot handle well is thunder. I didn't expect us to have thunder today, so please ignore his
we both
barking.
live in the same area,
Yeah.
not on the same island, but across the island from each
Right.
other. So we have the same weather.
He's quite okay, and nobody's coming to grab me, so he just thinks so. Okay, I want to really give my appreciation ahead of time, not only for Mia for, allowing me to share this process with you. This came about just a good year or so ago. Like I said, that this group of people came together to do this certification. And because of my history of using their books and, using the oils, it was one of those decisions like, done. I want more. So that's why I jumped on to do this as a part of my business. And I am not sorry because it's really helping so many people. But Anne also, I want to thank Anne for being very vulnerable and doing this process in front of others, because normally this is something that I do, one-on-one, or sometimes in groups, depending, but it means that everybody needs to be obviously very respectful of the journey that she's going through. But also, it's very likely, and I told Anne ahead of time this morning, I didn't want to prompt her in any way other than saying, aside from a session that we've had before, I want you just to go with whatever works best for you today, whatever is coming up in your mind. And more than likely, whatever happens with Anne is something that all of us can relate to in some way, the emotion that she's having. I also want to say that we're going to be selecting particular oils and things for Anne. If you don't have that oil, please do not worry about it for today's work, even if you don't have oils. But if you have oils that are different, it's okay. You're going to be encouraged just to pick whatever one that seems to call to you and use it for today's session. And then, if you find that you want to dive into that emotion deeper, you can either book a session with me, or you can just go ahead and pick the oil that we selected as kind of the most beneficial, perhaps, and get that oil to work through that emotion. So again, you're going to get something out of this no matter what. All right. So Anne, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, all right. Thank you again for doing this with us. So my intention for our session today is to guide you in identifying and releasing unwanted emotions so that you can access the answers and solutions that are within you. So I invite you to trust this process and just see what unfolds. Okay. This is a safe space. Whatever comes up in our time together is strictly confidential. Now, you are, offering to share this with a group of people. So I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And today, here's how we're going to start. Which of these are you experiencing or noticing most today? Are you feeling an oil that you're drawn to? Are you thinking of an emotion that is kind of calling to you to help release? Or are you feeling something physical in your body that you're experiencing?
I do feel something physical in my sacral chakra because I
Okay.
experienced a lot of trauma through my life.
And for those that may not know what the sacral chakra is, can you be more specific of where that's showing up in your body?
It's like right near the abdominal area.
Okay.
Like you feel a feeling in the pit of your stomach. You're feeling that in your sacral chakra.
Yeah. Yeah. That pit of the stomach feeling. Okay.
Is this geranium oil?
Okay. So you're feeling this in your stomach or your abdomen. So this is where we go into our book. And this does, guys, just take some flipping through for me as well. It's not possible to absorb everything in this book and where it all is. So please bear with me through this little bit of what we do. Okay, so the abdomen. It's our core belief center, beliefs accumulated through experience. There may be untrue beliefs. Discomfort may reflect social acceptance and how you perceive they are viewed by others. Does any of that stand out to you?
Yes.
What part?
How others may view it, as well as, a belief, something that makes me feel uncomfortable based on past experience.
Okay. So are you thinking more like social acceptance? Or is it something else?
Something else. It's not really about social acceptance. It's about opening myself up to feel safe, to love again, to be in a relationship again.
Okay. So is feeling safe maybe the emotion that's standing out?
Hmm.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And feeling safe is probably a fairly universal emotion, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to look up the emotion of safe. Oop. My alphabet straight here. There we go. Okay, safe. Now, safe, here's some of the oils that work with feeling safe. Myrrh, frankincense, lavender, breathe, and on guard, which are two more thunder, which are two doTERRA specific blends. Tea tree oil, manuka, holiday joy, and Terra Shield again blends. Yarrow palm, adaptive, and huga. Okay, so those are oils that work especially well with safety. So here's your question. And do you have any of those oils? I know I gave you a few
I
oils.
do have lavender.
Okay, great. Should we work with lavender today?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so with this safety though, here's a question. Am I feeling physically or emotionally vulnerable? Do I trust something larger than myself for protection and safety?
I do feel vulnerable, but I do trust the higher power for my safety.
Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at lavender. Beautiful lavender. You know, it's interesting through this process in particular. Lavender is, you know, always near and dear to my heart. We know about it for its calming properties, etc. It's a pretty plant in the garden. There's nothing hardly, and I don't know many people that don't like lavender in some way, shape, or form, but I've really become especially appreciative to lavender. So lavender is the communication and calm oil. Lavender aids verbal expression and calms the mind. Specifically, it calms the insecurities that are felt when one risks their true thoughts and feelings. Lavender addresses a deep fear of being seen and heard. Individuals in need of lavender hide within, blocking their true self-expression. While they may be going through the motions of outward expression, they're actually holding back their innermost thoughts and feelings. The expression is not connected to the heart or soul. Lavender supports individuals in releasing the tension and constriction that stems from withheld expression. This bottleneck in communication can result in worried and racing thoughts, anxiousness, and sleep disruption. Due to past experiences, they may feel unsafe or fearful or expressing themselves because of potential rejection. Often they don't allow themselves space to get in touch with all they truly think and feel. Their true voice is therefore trapped within and goes unexpressed. Strong feelings of being unlovable, unimportant, or unheard can accompany this condition. Lavender encourages emotional honesty and insists that individuals speak their innermost thoughts and desires. As they learn to communicate their deepest thoughts and feelings, they are liberated from their self-inflicted prison. It is through open and honest communication that individuals have the potential to experience unconditional love, acceptance, and peace of mind. Through Lavender's courageous spirit, all are free to share their true self with others.
Excuse me, Fiona, can you please mute yourself? I can't do it on here and we have background noise coming in. Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Did any of that resonate with you, Anne?
Absolutely, because most of my life I have not felt that I've been seen or had my voice heard. And I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere.
Yeah.
I had trouble expressing my authentic self.
Okay. So I don't know if anybody else resonates with that, but again, I encourage you to just follow along and write down any insights that you may have on that too. So we're going to go back to your emotion of safety. And we're going to take that a little further. If you remember, we asked the question at the very beginning. Oh, Max, please. We're all fine. As for safety, we're safe. Am I feeling physically or emotionally vulnerable? Do I trust something larger than myself for protection and safety? So that was our initial question. So now as we go deep, I think this poor guy is being tortured.
I thought somebody was talking in the background. He is.
He is talking to the thunder. All right, little buddy, here, I'm going to do one thing. I figured a dog treat might help. Okay. We don't need his noise in the background. Okay, so our question that goes a little deeper is I am now held in safety and protection. I am now constantly inspired with direction for my life. So I want you to close your eyes, Anne, and anybody else that's playing along here. Can you locate where this emotion is held in your body?
My throat.
Ah. Interesting. Do you know that lavender, because it's also the oil of communication, is the perfect oil for you to choose today? Before I do any speaking, I put lavender and spearmint on my throat. Yeah. You had somebody else had throat. Okay. So anything else you're noticing?
No.
Okay. All right. So I want you to see yourself expending the energy to maintain this emotion of not feeling safe. Are you ready to let this go?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so I'm going to speak this aloud and you can follow along just silently, or if you want to speak it after me, Anne, it's up to you. I choose to release this feeling of not safe with all its negative attachments and hold on me. I now hand it over to the divine, or you like higher power, for transformation and healing. So just so you know, any of these statements that I am making, you can feel free to change any wording that doesn't work for you and make it your own. So I'm going to say this one more time. I choose to release this feeling of not being safe with all its negative attachments and hold on me. I now hand it over to the divine for transformation and healing. So now close your eyes. We're going to do a little visualization. See yourself releasing this emotion of not feeling safe. Visualize it floating out of you and away from you, higher and higher, taking all of its attachments with it. Feel yourself becoming lighter and more free as it leaves your body, mind, and spirit. See it completely taken away and dissolved by the divine. I feel like the divine is speaking to me through this thunder today. Now, I want you to take your lavender or whatever oil any of you may have, and take 3 deep cleansing breaths. So after this release, how are you feeling?
Much calmer.
Much better? Yeah. Anything in your body shift?
Mm.
Okay.
Yes, my body did shift.
Okay. Are you ready to create a new experience?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're going to activate a new way of being. And I'm going to speak aloud a declaration for the emotion. I am now held in safety and protection. I am now constantly inspired with direction for my life.
I need to say that out loud.
If you'd like to, we can do it out loud together. Will that help imprint it in you better?
Sure.
Okay. So I am now held in safety and protection.
I am now held in safety and protection.
I am now constantly inspired
I am now constantly inspired
with direction for my life.
with direction for my life.
Great. And now I want you to close your eyes again. Imagine a continuous stream of light flowing through your mind, your heart, and your gut. See yourself illuminated with the knowledge that's needed to move forward. And I want you to go ahead and take and inhale your lavender again. And as you do so, I'm going to say this one more time. Imagine a continuous stream of light flowing through your mind, your heart, and your gut. See yourself illuminated with the knowledge needed to move forward. So, Anne, can you offer yourself compassion?
Yes.
Good for what you've just learned. I mean, compassion is so important for us. And I know Mia talks about self-love all the time. And even just going through a process like this is such a way to show love for yourself, right? One of the ways that we can do this is through self-forgiveness. You know, we can feel, if we're feeling vulnerable, or we're feeling like, gosh, I shouldn't have this emotion, or, you know, why is this always showing up for me? Or we're feeling guilt or shame. We need to release that. It doesn't serve us well. So I encourage you to forgive yourself as well through this process. The more that you can do that and pass it on, you know, the grace of doing self-forgiveness, you're going to help others grow too.
Okay.
You're going to be inspired. And you're going to also help others extend it to themselves. So how else will you care for yourself to continue your healing? Do you have a few things that you're going to do continually from here on?
Well, I do meditate and I do practice self-love rituals.
Great. Can you share a little bit of self-love rituals that you do for
You
the
know,
rest
even
of us?
starting my day and making myself a cup of coffee, I put a lot of love energy into that, or even in the evening if I have tea. It's very special. It's very comforting. Um, the way that I like care for my skin, for example, like when I wash my face before I put on my makeup, I do massage my skin,
Mm.
and self massage is a form of self love.
Oh, beautiful. That's beautiful. Yes. You know, it's interesting how, like you say, we can just take those kind of, excuse me, routine things that we normally do and just add a little extra love into them can make a huge difference.
We call Anne in the academy our our little self-love guru baby.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Because she every moment is about how which is beautiful.
Yeah,
She can
for
expand.
sure.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that I grew up in a family where I didn't know anything about self love until I was in my 50s. In
Yeah.
my family, love was something that you earned. It was conditional. It was not unconditional. So I had to relearn a lot of patterning I had from my family origins.
But you know, what a gift you're giving yourself to being open to
Yeah,
receiving that new information and creating a new realm for yourself, right? Because a lot of people are, you know, are not willing to do that. So good for you. Now, what are your next steps? You know, we're moving on with this new awareness, and I know you're doing it in a really big way. Um, what, you know, life gets in the way, right? So what are some ways that you will help yourself through this process?
look for gratitude and love every day, and also continue to have these essential oils. They do make me feel better.
Okay. And what about maybe establishing boundaries?
Yeah, that's been an issue I've had at establishing boundaries and speaking up about that.
But you've been working on it and things have shifted a
Yeah,
lot, a lot.
that's great.
Ben
And
and
that's
I have worked together for like 3 years, and she is a completely different woman than from the very beginning. I mean, completely. She overhauled herself completely. So it can be done.
just, you know, just by nature of her doing this for other people's benefit as well as her own is huge testimony to that, right? I mean, not
I
everyone can do that.
also
So,
journal a lot. So, journaling my feelings as
okay,
they come up, because there's like layers and layers of these things. That does help a lot.
great. Okay. So, what about, you know, even with our own best intentions, with our own healing processes, what can get in the way?
What can get in the way, or let's say I'm
What
working,
does get in the way?
let's say as an example, when I'm working, my boss can sometimes trigger me.
Hmm.
They'll say something that reminds me of something very toxic my mother said to me. And that happened this week, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
It
you know,
made me
in a
feel the
perfect
fight.
world, in a perfect bubble, right? We
Right.
can do all these things, and then we get out in the world, and then oops, what
But
happened?
how I reacted to it, yes, I did feel anger, but I also felt fight, flight, or freeze.
Okay. And
Which
then
is one of her typical responses, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
we go into, yeah. Okay. So when that happens, how do you work your way out of that?
I had to breathe. I had to set myself outside of that and realize that he's not my mother.
Yes.
Mhm.
Good. But yeah, and just taking that moment to whew,
And then the other thing is that my perception is different than the reality of who he is. He was trying to help, but it triggered me because I felt very defensive and I didn't like what he said, the way he
yeah,
went.
For sure. And then, and that goes back to what I said at the beginning with our emotions. So trigger, quick results. And it is oftentimes it can be a perception issue too. Yeah, for sure. Okay. But it looks like you've got some good tools to work with when those things happen, because they will, for all of us, they will. So when, between this session and the one we've done before, Anne, what's your most powerful learning through this process?
Learning how to forgive myself, I'd say, would be the most powerful thing.
Good. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I just had a huge story that happened around that a week ago when a former loved one died, and forgiveness in that process was huge for my growth. So I guess forgiveness is so important. So I would like you to put your hand over your heart. This goes for all of you. First of all, Anne, I want to thank you for being really vulnerable and sharing this with us.
You're welcome.
But for yourself, please give yourself a huge thank you for just showing up to do this work for you. Right? There couldn't be more wonderful ways to show your own self-love than doing work like this. So for Anne and all of you, healing is a journey. You can come back to this as often as you like. So, once you've got your oils like Anne does now, a few, you can go back to it. Like I said before, if you have an oil she happened to have the oil that was really conducive to her healing around this issue. If she hadn't, it would have been okay, because what I do is I read about the attributes of, say, lavender, which she had, but if all you had was orange, you still would read through the lavender, right? To get the benefits from that. And then you could still breathe in the orange. You would still have received benefits, like I hope you felt during this process. And then if you want to do continued work around that emotion, then would be, of course, very helpful to have the lavender to do that. Okay, so I want to make sure that was clear. Maybe not, but hopefully now it is. So,
and so Sharon, can you also share with everybody, because it's harder when we're going through someone else's, right, to put it back on us. So this is one reason why you've got the video to go through it again, and you can put yourself in the hot seat there. And the questions that Sharon are asking, I know you did it here, but it's also distracting when, there's a lot of us together. So you can redo it yourself. You can, they could order the book. But I also think
the book, but more important,
one of the best things to do is and it's incredibly affordable, is to have this like hour session with her privately in this classroom. She's reducing it for people, and her price was incredible anyway, so she's reducing it for everybody to make it affordable. So that will go out in your replay email, how to take care of all of that. But also, would you like to share? I mean, I could blab it, but would you like to share what she reduced it, and you guys will be like, wow, that's incredible.
So typically a single session is $75. And it takes 45 to 60 minutes. Okay, so it's for something simple. It I think is very affordable. But I am reducing it for all of the people that have been here or who are watching the replay for $50. Okay, it's sort of an intro session if you choose, but you'll get the full thing. And then if you we'll give you my email, I guess is probably the easiest way to do this, since there's a couple parts to it.
That will
If-
also be in the replay.
yeah, if you're interested and you just don't have any oils, or you're not sure what to do, then you can also reach out to me so we can make sure that you have something to work with during the session. I just think it's helpful. It's not the end of the world if you didn't have oils, but I think it's nice to have something to really go along with, to experience that olfactory, system and the emotional part of it. I think it's just helpful if you have an oil to work with.
Okay, wonderful. So should we close them out with our meditation now?
Yes, you have a meditation you want to share, I know.
I do, based off of this. And I'm also very excited because I want to talk to Sharon and get all that information for you. So I'm like, yay. All right. So I created this meditation based on today's class. And so I'm going to go through it. It is written out. Sharon, if you want this, I'll gift it to you. I also decided as I was creating this that since I am a meditation girl and it's all part of some of the work, that I'm going to compile my meditations and probably put them in a little book and get it out there, because I thought that'd be really cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So this one was specifically written for this one. So I'd like you all to get comfortable. Okay, here we go. Begin by finding a comfortable position, either sitting or laying down. Allow your body to relax and settle. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, release the tension or stress you may be holding onto. Let go of the outside world and turn your attention inward. Now bring to mind the emotions and insight that emerged during your Essential Emotions coaching session. Reflect on the healing journey you've embarked upon and the growth you're experiencing. Now that you're in a safe space, supported by love and guidance. Imagine yourself standing in a serene and beautiful garden. Visualize brilliant flowers of red, orange, and pink. Tall trees and gentle stream flowing nearby. This garden represents the inner sanctuary, a place where you can find solace and healing. As you explore this garden, notice a soft, warm golden light shining down from above. This radiant light symbolizes love and nurturing energy. As it shines on you, you feel the warmth on your crown chakra. You begin to encompass your body, moving down gracefully. You begin to feel the light. Feel its gentle embrace, embracing your entire being, filling you with a sense of safety and warmth. Now focus your attention on your heart center. This is a location in the center of your chest. Imagine a beautiful glowing ball of light residing within your heart. This light represents your essence, your true self, and your capacity of love and healing. Take a moment to connect with this inner light. Feel its gentle rhythm and its soothing energy. Recognize that within you lies an infinite well of love, safety, and nurturing energy, always available to support your healing and growth. Allow this loving energy to expand your heart, flowing outward, permeating every cell of your body. With each breath, feel this energy spreading further, releasing any remaining tension or discomfort, and placing it with a profound sense of peace and healing. Now bring to mind any areas of your body or emotions that require special attention. It may be a place of pain, discomfort, or a lingering emotional wound. With the power of your insight, direct the healing energy from your heart to these areas. Allow it to gently dissolve any blockage or imbalances. As the nurturing energy flows through you, imagine it transforming any pain or wounds into light, love, and healing. Visualize the cells of your body and the fibers of your emotions being bathed in this radiant energy, repairing and rejuvenating you on all levels. Watch in your mind's eye that each cell is being filled with light and love. Each cell is being healed. Feel the warmth and tenderness of this healing energy embracing you completely. Trust that it knows exactly what you need to heal and restore balance in your life. Surrender to the process, allowing the energy to work its magic. Feel that swirling around within you. Take a few moments to bask in this loving energy, to feel its transformative power coursing through your body and your soul. Know that you are safe, loved, and supported on the healing and growth journey. Know that you have the power to create this sanctuary of peace within you. You have the ability to tap into this inner wellspring of love and emotional wellness, and to cultivate a deep sense of safety and calm within yourself. When you are ready, gently bring your awareness back to the present moment. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly open your eyes, carrying a nurturing energy and healing intentions with you as you return to your day, knowing that you are on the path of deep transformation and self-love. Open your eyes when you're back to us. Okay. All right, beautiful. We will send you out the replay email with all the information. Thank you all for joining us. This was really lovely and wonderful. And we will see you again soon. Thank you. Have a great day. I'm going to turn off the recorder. And thank you, Anne, for joining us with your help.
Oh, welcome.
Thank you.